which is used in IELTS. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing Systems. So it's one of the probably one of the three well-known testing systems or exams which help the examiner understand your level of English. So we have TOEFL, Test of English as a Foreign Language, IELTS, and PTE, Pearson Test of English. I've seen those three in different places, so probably these three are very popular. And there is this CEFR system, but I'm not sure whether they have their own testing system. Maybe they just also accept, for instance, IELTS. IELTS is, yeah, look at my beautiful portfolio. This is a portfolio. So yeah, lots of certificates and stuff. So yeah, IELTS is actually a Cambridge assessment system, right? Yeah, I need to change the camera. The rear camera will show you. Yeah, it's a Cambridge assessment. So it's recognized by Cambridge, so probably EU, European Union as well. Yeah, and it's the British Council, right? So probably this is it for the CEFR system as well. Of course, TOEFL is recognized as well. So this works with the so-called band system. So let's just understand the term band, okay? When it comes to education, I'm just going to read the definition from Google. So in education, band is any of several groups into which school pupils of the same age are divided on the basis of broadly similar ability. Here's an example, the top band of pupils, right? And another, well, yeah, it's the noun, so I'm not reading the verb. Yeah, so it's a band is a group. Yes, if you want a very close synonym to the term band, that would be group, part, maybe section, but mostly group. So this IELTS document has this band system explanation as well. So it starts with band 0. 0 is the lowest. And the top upmost band is band 9. So you should be always between 0 and 9. So I'll just read it all for you. Okay, band 0. So did not attempt the test. No accessible information provided. So band 0 is like we do not know whether the person knows English or not at all because they did not even attempt the test. Yeah, they have not been assessed. So they are not accessible as the text reads. So you are not in the system when you are in your when you are band 0. Then we move to band 1. It's the non-user. Yeah, the title, the name of this band is non-user. Essentially has no ability to use the language beyond possibly a few isolated words. Yeah. So it's the people who cannot use the language at all, just a few words. Yeah, hello, thank you, give, take, etc. Band 2 is intermittent user. That's a funny term to me. Intermittent. I've heard of intermittent fasting, for instance. When you eat, for instance, you can eat between 3 or say 4 hours, and the rest of the day you do not eat. Yeah, for 16 hours, for instance, or 17 or 18 or more, you do not allow yourself to eat at all. So that's intermittent fasting. So band to intermittent user, no real communication is possible except for the most basic information using isolated words or short formulae in familiar situations and to meet immediate needs. Okay? has great difficulty understanding spoken and written English, right? So band 2 intermittent user, they cannot really use the language. Uh, they can have, they can understand single, yeah, words or very short formulae in familiar situations. If they know what the situation is, if the person is a cook, he's been cooking for years, maybe he knows a few idioms, expressions, and he has some vocabulary about cooking, maybe about paying their bills, etc. And let's just see this. So formulum, yeah, formula is the singular formula, one formula. The plural is formulae, yes, many formulae. One formula, many formulae. Okay. All right, band number 3, extremely limited user. Conveys and understands only general meaning in very familiar situations. Frequent breakdowns in communication occur. Okay. Band number 4, limited user. Basic competence is limited to familiar situations. Has frequent problems in understanding and expression. Is not able to use complex language. That's band number 4, right? Band number 5, modest user. Has partial command of the language, coping with overall meaning in most situations, though is likely to make many mistakes. Should be able to handle basic communication in own field. Okay, this is band number 5, modest user. So in this case, the person can already communicate. Yeah, maybe he will use, for instance, he'll say, she say to me, I enjoy ride a bike. Yeah, but you understand, and they can express themselves. Yeah, modest user. Band number 6 or band 6 is competent user. Has generally effective command of the language despite some inaccuracies, inappropriacies, and misunderstandings. Can use and understand fairly complex language, particularly in familiar situations. So with competent user, you can have interesting discussions already, right? Competent, like one is competent, means one can do that, yes? So if the user incompetent in terms of the language, you can communicate with them easily, and you can have like interesting discussions, dialogues with competent users. Band 7 is a good user. Has operational command of the language, though with occasional inaccuracies, inappropriacies, and misunderstandings in some situations. Generally handles complex language well and understands detailed reasoning. Okay. So with good user, you can talk about politics and philosophy, right? And tell them why you think, for instance, that capitalism is wrong, or Marxism is a terrible system, or socialism won't work, etc. So band 7, good user. Uh, the pre-last one is band 8, very good user. Has fully operational command of the language with only occasional unsystematic inaccuracies and inappropriacies. Misunderstandings may occur in unfamiliar situations. Handles complex, detailed argumentation well. So this is the pre-last one, band 8. Fully operational command, command of the language, meaning he can use the language in sophisticated ways. I'd say with very good user, it's not easy to understand whether it's their native language or not, especially if you consider, like, in terms of English, it's an international language. So it's not just British English and American English. We have Australian English, we have Indian English, different flavors and types of English, different dialects. So with a very good user, uh, yeah, it's band 8. Uh-huh. Mhm. And the highest band is 9. Expert user has fully operational command of the language, appropriate, accurate, and fluent with complete understanding. I wonder how they actually assess, for instance, band 8 and band 9. Yeah, well, probably they have their own system at the British Council and with Cambridge assessment. So I cannot comment on this because I'm not familiar with the system. So I'm not an insider. Okay. However, this is very close to or this might be actually also a native speaker. Well, the thing is, sometimes native speakers can be, for instance, band 7, band 8, not necessarily band 9. Yeah, it's about also your not just a level of education, but the linguistic intelligence, I would say. Because there are some native speakers who do not understand the difference between your and your. Yeah, it's with an apostrophe and it's like without the apostrophe. Yeah. So yeah, it's not as simple as that. It's not that plain. So this is it. I'm just going to show you again this whole band system, right? From band 0. Yes, here are the titles. Band 9, yes, expert user. Okay, that's it. Again, and also if I was very curious, and so I just calculated my the percentage in terms of, for instance, if like it's the maximum is 9, yeah, you can go to band 9. My overall band score is 7.5. So I was curious, like in terms of percentage, how much is it? It's 83%. So my fluency of English in terms of percentage in 2021, according to the IELTS system, is 83%, which is quite high. Yeah. I'm not complaining. On the other hand, my TOEFL result was 108 out of 120. So in terms of percentage, it was about 91%, I think. So way higher. And I'm just surprised that my speaking is just 7.5 out of 9. I was like, well, maybe it would be 8.2, 8 point higher than 8.2, maybe 8. So I don't know. I just used my synonyms. I used different tenses. Um, yeah. So that's it in terms of percentage. I'm in a very good standing, I'd say. Um, yeah, that's it. So now you know how this band system works. In terms of, again, my test was an academic one because I want to study at a US institution, higher education institution, a university. Um, with TOEFL, often 90 or higher is good. In some cases, it's 100. Sometimes it can be 1 and 10, yeah, depending on your field. In terms of TOEFL, I already said that my university, for instance, this prestigious, expensive University of Southern California, a private institution, they are required 6.8, 6.5 for a master's degree, like a master's program. Yeah, so 6.5. California State University required 7.5, a state institution. So it will depend. Sometimes band 6 can be good enough. So it's band 6 and higher mostly. At other times, band 5 can be okay, depending on what your goals are, what you want to do. Yeah, that's it. See you later.